Today, I'm transforming ordinary thrift store picture frames into beautiful vintage-inspired pieces that bring warmth, character, and timeless charm to any space. Hey there, welcome to the Schwowin's Nest. My name is Sandra, and I'm so glad you're here. Here are the frames I'm working with today. I just love the 5 at the back with all their details, but no worries, we're going to liven up the plain ones with some simple techniques too. This first one has a bamboo-like pattern around it, and it's already beautiful with the slight bronze accents, but I want to spice it up a bit more and give it a coat of bronze gilding wax. The frame is plastic, but it's going to look much better once it's complete. Using a rough chip brush and applying the wax in a circular motion over the texture will ensure that it's completely covered. For the plain areas between the patterns, I'm going to use an up and down motion so the wax looks like brush strokes. The Gilding Wax is by DIXIE and a little goes a really long way. My favorite color is bronze, but they have other shades like gold and silver as well. I mentioned in an earlier video that I have my pieces in a new store. It's called Next Time Around, and it's on Queen Street in Cambridge, Ontario. So far, frames like this have been good sellers, so why not make some more? I love that this gold frame is square. It's perfect for a floral art print. It has some whitish color that I want to deepen, plus the gold is quite bright. Using brown antique wax is the perfect solution to take this frame from ho-hum to vintage brilliance. I'm using the same type of chip brush to get into all the nooks and crannies, and I'm not being shy about using quite a bit of wax, so some areas turn out darker than others. It's so easy to transform frames like this into pieces that fit your style, whether you're modern, vintage, farmhouse, or even cottagecore. All you need to do is choose the color that suits your style, and you're good to go. I made sure to go over the sides of the frame as well because they were really bright, being the solid gold color. I did 2 coats of the wax. I let this first one dry and then I went over it again a while later and just deepened the color ever so slightly so it wasn't quite that bright. I recently got some of Bell's gray grunge wax and I'm really excited to try it on this white frame. It's super easy to use, and again, the same brush with circular motions to get into all the details is really important. I love the look of the gray grunge wax, although if that's not your jam, you could leave it as is for more of a farmhouse style, add some gold dry brushing to it, make it sparkle, or even some brown antique wax to really give it that antique vibe. These are just suggestions. It's what I decided to do with all of these frames, but you could definitely incorporate them into your style using different colors, different waxes. You could paint them different ways. It's really all up to you and what you love. Stay tuned towards the end of the video, and I'm going to show you what I did to the printed pieces that I'm putting in each of these frames. Now, if you don't have frames with the embellishments and details from these first few projects, no problem. I'm going to show you how to make your own. These little red rose stickers are from Dollar Tree, and they are perfect to add a touch of vintage to these mini frames. I already did one with a bunch of them at the top, and now I'm going to add a few around the top corner and one near the bottom for this frame, and for the third frame, just one in each corner. You can do as many or as little as you want. I'm sure you'll be able to find different embellishments like this at dollar stores near you. But if not, I do have some little flower charms listed in my Amazon store, and you'll find that link down in my description box. I painted these first two white, two coats of normal chalk paint, and the third one I did in Hampton Olive, which is a dark olive green by Dixie Belle. I want to put different waxes and different dry brushing techniques on these little frames to get different looks with each color. I've got another new product called Van Dyke Brown Glaze, and it's also from Dixie Belle. I've been wanting to try it for a while. On the white, using a chip brush, it looks like wood grain. So pretty. I can't wait to try it on other colors and to use it on wood projects too. The next one I used the gray grunge wax again. I'm just loving that shade on white and lighter colors. For the Hampton Olive, I went back to the brown antique wax to deepen the color and give it a richer tone. Here's what I did for the artwork that I put in each frame. I did a mix of florals and landscapes, which will make a beautiful gallery wall, like you see in older homes, and it's also very on trend right now. I used Dixie Belle Gator Hide to seal in the ink from the printer. You can also use Mod Podge or any other sealer that you have. I just wanted mine to have a bit of shine to them, and my Mod Podge is a matte finish. I first started brushing it on. Then I switched to a sponge dauber to give the effect of an oil painting or a high-end print. I have also seen people do a sort of cross-hatch effect with their sealer, which also gives the look of an oil painting. Once they were dry, I used gator hide again to glue them to a piece of cardstock. I used white and brown cardstock for this. I don't think it really matters what color you use because the paper is quite thick now with the sealer on it, but I probably wouldn't choose black. It was very easy to smooth out the paper print because it already had the sealer on it, so I would definitely recommend doing it this way. Once that was dry, I simply cut out the images and placed them in the frames. Here's a look at the three mini frames. I think they are adorable and look just like something you would find in an antique store. Another easy way to add character to a plain frame is to use hot glue in molds. I have a bunch of molds that I got from Amazon. Those are also listed in my Amazon store, and I use them a lot with hot glue. These molds are from IOD, and it's called the trimmings mold. I like to use my large glue gun with the fat sticks because it's easier and faster to fill them up. Then, to get them to cool off a little quicker, I tried using my blow dryer on the cool setting, and it did work, but it took a really long time. Then I remembered that I have a freezer right outside my craft room door, so I popped the molds in there for a few minutes and they hardened up real quick. I repeated these steps 3 times so I would have enough trim to go over the whole frame. I just used hot glue again to glue them onto the frame right in that little groove. The paint color I chose for this frame is called Sawmill Gravy. It reminds me of the shades of those vintage Crocs you can find. Once the 2 coats were dry, I used Hampton Olive Green to dry brush over it, quite heavily. I simply love how it looks, and since the frame was only $3 at Goodwill, it became a high-end piece of artwork for pennies on the dollar. When I saw this frame, I snatched it up so fast because it's got everything I want. A chunky thickness to it, feet at the bottom, and the arched top made it priceless. It only cost me $6, so for that, it was a steal. It's getting 2 good coats of white chalk paint, and then I'm going to try sparkling it up a bit with some gold acrylic paint. Using acrylic paint will give it more of a transparent shade, and if you've ever used acrylic paint on projects, you'll know that you need 2 or 3 coats to get full coverage. So, acrylic paint shades can be also used as a glaze or a whitewash. This color is called Spun Gold, and it's a very soft and not that bright gold, perfect for what I want. Using a chip brush again will help to get into all the details since they're harder than regular paintbrushes. I've never really been a gold person. I tend to move towards bronzes and silvers, but I think this turned out gorgeous. The last frame that I changed up was a pretty shade of blue-green. I simply added some antique wax to make it look vintage. Adding the swan image into it is a nice addition and complements the frame very well. Unfortunately, I don't know what I did with that footage. I may have forgotten to turn my camera on, but I think you probably get the idea of what I did with this frame. Let me know if you think all of these frames would work together for a gallery wall. I put them out on a table in a grouping to see if I would like it, and with the addition of a couple other items to fill in the spaces, I love the look. Thanks so much for spending some of your time with me today. I hope you enjoyed these vintage frame upcycles and got inspired to grab some frames from the thrift store, add some paint and a little bit of creativity, and create your own vintage collection. I hope you're having a great summer, and I'll see you in the next one.